My name is Simon from Talk About Art, and in this afternoon's session we're going to create our own Picasso-inspired mask. Pablo Picasso was a Spanish artist and perhaps one of the most influential and famous artists of the 20th century. One of Pablo Picasso's most famous paintings was called Les Demoiselles d'Avignon, which he painted in 1907. And Picasso was very influenced for a period during this time by African masks, different types of African mask. And we can see in this painting how he has used that influence, those features, within the face itself. We can see, for example, here, how particular characters within the painting take on the features of particular masks that Picasso was interested in. Beyond Les Demoiselles d'Avignon, we can see in other paintings how Picasso was very interested in the qualities and the appearance of certain features of the face as they came from the masks, and how he could recreate them through the paintings he made. This is an example of one of the masks that Picasso was particularly interested in. And if we look at the history of art, there are lots of artists at different periods of time that were very influenced by the idea of the mask. This painting here is a self-portrait by the Belgian artist, 19th century Belgian British artist James Ensor. This is a self-portrait, and we can see James Ensor within the painting surrounded by lots of different types of masks. Also, if we look at this example here, which is a more recent example, a more contemporary example, we can see how the mask itself becomes the kind of basis and backdrop for a story of different figures and expressions going through the mask. Okay, so there are different ways that we can respond to the mask. Okay, this is a mask that I've created earlier. Okay, what I did is I created an outline on a piece of paper. I then created the features with a black outline on the paper, and then coloured them in. I was very lucky because I had a hole punch to hand, which I then used to create a hole through which I put some string. Now, if you have some siblings or parents or other people in your house, what you could do, if you have a hole punch or scissors and you kind of skewer it in, is to create a little knot, and then with the other one, you keep it loose. If I just show you, for example, you create a knot at one end, you put the piece of string through the other one, you put it on, and with the help of your brother or sister or your parent, you can then tighten the other one accordingly. And you can see there, I have cut out the kind of eyes, and that's my mask. And if you have any brothers or sister, you can all have your own individual masks. Okay, this is an example of one that I did earlier. And for this one, I used a plate. So you can use things lying around the house to create the basic shape. You can see here how I've created some holes for the eyes that I will then cut out. I will then hole punch each side of the face, and I've coloured it in. I will then proceed to use the scissors to then cut around the circle that I've created for the mask before I do the hole punch. So there are different ways that you can do this. There are different size plates for different size heads. Okay, so here we are, we've nearly cut the whole thing out. Now we can see how that becomes our Picasso-inspired mask. And then with our hole punch, we can go in. You can see the hole there. We do that at the other side. Then I have some string here. I can just take out a piece of string. I have my scissors, and I can cut that. And as I said, I can then take my string, put it through my mask, okay, like that, and like that. I will then proceed to cut out the eyes, and as I said, I can go on, put the string through the other side like this, and with the help of a sibling or a parent or someone in the house, I can tighten that up and do it accordingly. Now, I will just show you briefly before we end how to do that. So as you can see with that one, I had a plate. I put the plate on a sheet of paper. If you've got thickish paper, that's better, but don't worry too much. I then proceeded to draw around the plate. That gave me my basic shape. You can do a freehand design if you want, it's entirely up to you. And then it was from that I decided to then do my own design like this. And I can kind of use different colours. I might take a kind of pink under here. And I can do it any colour I want. Maybe take a different type of pink or a purple, or this is more like a kind of pinky magenta colour. Okay. It doesn't matter if you don't have lots of colours. You literally need 1 or 2 colours. If you have more, that's fine. I've used felt tips, but you can use marker pens or you can use colouring pencils to just kind of do the different sections. You can make this as simple or as complex as you like. It doesn't really matter what you do. And as I say, particularly if there's more than one of you in the house, you can do exactly what you want. Maybe have different characters referring to different creatures. Be as imaginative as you like. Okay? So, and if you want to find out more, if you want to type in Picasso masks into Google, that will give you more information about Picasso and the way that different masks influenced Picasso and the painting Les Demoiselles d'Avignon. So from me, Simon, and Talk About Art, thank you for watching. The end.